Welcome back to my channel. We are at the Fragrance University with your girl Zoe, aka the Perfume Princess. Today we are taking a dive into some of my favorite scent layering combinations. I went into a little bit of detail about this in my Valentine's video, and I started talking about scent layering, and I asked you guys to let me know if you wanted a video on it, and y'all were going crazy. You guys also have been asking me on TikTok to do a more in-depth video of this because I have done a couple TikToks highlighting some of my favorite scent layering combos, but y'all wanted the details, so I'm here with the details. I personally just really like to layer my fragrances because I think it is the only way you will ever truly have a unique fragrance. No matter how unique, no matter how different, how hard to find a fragrance is, somebody somewhere has it, okay? Unless you're making your own fragrances. So this is a way to take really good quality fragrances, combine them all together, create your own concoction, and then nobody else can copy you. Unless they find out your scent layering combination. Like all of mine that I'm about to give away right now. Of course, we know of like the typical way to layer fragrances. You can take all of the ancillaries and put it with the actual fragrance. So here I have the Baccarat Rouge 540 hair mist, I have the body oil, and then I have the extrait, the fragrance. So that's the typical way to layer fragrance. I've talked about how to extend the life of your fragrance in a previous video and how to like make your fragrance last longer, and that inevitably led to me hinting at the concept of layering. But this particular video is going to be about taking two vastly different fragrances and mixing them together to create an entirely new scent. But before I get started actually naming off these fragrances, I promise you, I list every single fragrance in the description box down below. Y'all know I have no problem answering you guys' questions. Even my videos that went viral years ago, I still go back and respond to as many people as I can. Y'all be coming at me crazy, like, you didn't mention this fragrance. I'm like, it's in the description box. I'm human. Sometimes I get a little too passionate when I'm talking and I forget to say the name. Forgive me. So I always leave links to where you can purchase them. So guys, always remember to check down below because I may have already answered a question that you may have. So I specifically wore what I'm wearing because I wanted as much arm space as possible. We're not doing blotters today, baby. We're using skin. You guys will have to stay tuned until the end to find out my faves. I will rate them. Number one being my absolute favorite, but I'm actually kind of interested to see what I come up with because when I spray them on my skin, I'll be able to compare and see which ones are truly the faves. So first I want to start off with a more common combination. This is just the only combination out of all of the ones that I'm mentioning today that I've actually seen other people do. Nobody inspired me to like any of these. These all came from my own experiences, me wearing them, trying them out, and discovering what I do and don't like mixed together. But I do see this one a lot more commonly with other people who like to layer their scents as well. So the first scent layering combo that I absolutely love, this is one of my go-tos for date night when I want to be really sexy, and that combination is none other than Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait with one of the YSL Libres. I have worn it with both of them. This one was originally my favorite mixture to do together. And then I did it with the Intense one day and it was just as good, if not better. So today we're gonna stick with the classic and we're just gonna do it with the original EDP. You also can do it with the original Baccarat Rouge. It does not have to be the Extrait. This is just my personal preference. Play around with them, see whatever you like, but I recommend this combo to so many freaking people. So we'll start in the crevice of my arm here and work our way down. I typically like to spray the heavier fragrance first, let that settle a little, and then put the lighter one on top. Now, in terms of concentration, the obvious answer would be Baccarat is the stronger one, but actually to me, the YSL Libre is stronger. It has a little bit more of this like masculine quality to it. It's like this very musky lavender powdery scent. This one to me is stronger. It's almost like borderline cologne-ish, and that's probably why I love it so much. But oh my gosh, classic. I'll never get sick of this one. So we're gonna go in with this one first. So you can see I just sprayed it right there in the corner of my arm. I'm gonna let that settle a little bit. It's dripping down my arm. And I like to put the Baccarat on top of it because I just find that it is, you know, more subtle, more fruity, a little more calm, despite it being an extrait, despite its longevity and it being a more concentrated fragrance. To me, it just is the lighter one of the two. So I like to put this one on top. And the reason that I use that logic is because whichever one is like stronger, if you put that on top, it will drown out the other fragrance. That's got a little second to dry. We're gonna go ahead and go on top of that with the Baccarat Rouge. And we're gonna let that settle. Y'all, I'm not really gonna get into like the notes and everything of all of the different fragrances because I talk about, you know, the individual identity of each of my fragrances in almost all of my videos. But since this video is more about the actual layering process, we're just gonna talk about what complements one another. If you want more details about the individual fragrances, check out some of my other videos, or feel free to just leave a comment and I will try my best to answer all of your questions. Intoxicating. I've showed this combination to men, to women. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. Even the people I know who don't like one fragrance or the other, together, baby, next level. Now, I'm gonna put y'all up on a little bit of game, okay? Baccarat Rouge is the best fragrance to layer with anything. Anytime I have a fragrance on and I kind of just want to spruce it up a little bit, I can almost always reach for Baccarat and know that they're going to mesh well, which you cannot say about every fragrance. I was genuinely curious, like, what about Baccarat makes it blend so well with everything else? What I learned is that Baccarat has a note in it called ambroxan. Ambroxan is a molecule. You may have heard other people in the fragrance community talking about the brand Eccentric Molecule, and they have like molecule 1, 2, and 3. And people would buy them and say that they don't smell anything, but these are molecule fragrances that are meant to enhance your other fragrances. You know what I'm saying? So you would buy Eccentric Molecule 1, 2, 3, whatever. You would put that on, and then whatever fragrance you're having trouble getting it to project and stuff, you would put that on top of it. Now, I'm not saying that that's the sole purpose of the brand, okay? Like, I don't know if you're meant to wear the fragrances by themselves, but just to my knowledge, I've just always known it as being like a fragrance enhancer. Having this ambroxan molecular note in Baccarat acts as having that fragrance enhancer already in a really gorgeous fragrance. Does that make sense? I'm trying to make this as black and white as possible because I know it can be a little confusing. Since it does have that component, it not only allows Baccarat itself to project and perform better when it is mixed with something else, but it also makes the other fragrance project and perform better. So when you mix Baccarat with anything, it just takes it to the next level. I just find that when I mix it with something else, Baccarat has even more personality. Like, I smell more Baccarat in a mixture than I smell Baccarat by itself. It's crazy, but you know, there's so much science behind fragrance. Yeah, that's just my little tip of the day. So you could always mix Baccarat with anything, and same goes for men. In one of my videos for men, I mentioned that my favorite Baccarat combination is Creed Aventus with Baccarat Rouge 540. Either of them, can be the Extrait, can be the EDP, doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, try it and try to keep your composure because you're gonna want to have a baby after you smell. Oh, it is so stunning together. It's classy, it's sexy, it's so freaking sexy. It's sexy because you know what? Both of the YSL Libres are fragrances that are like a go-to for date night. Of course, Baccarat is always getting like such good press from everyone around you. They can always smell it and you're getting lots of compliments. So I'm telling you, just trust me, when you mix those two together, chef's kiss. Next up, we have a little more of a strange combo. I don't think this is one that people would even think to mix together, but it is Aventus for Her, which I love. It's so nice for the spring. It's so fresh and clean. And we are going to be layering that with, if I can rotate this and get the name right, the new Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid. I'm obsessed with this. It has only been out for a few months and you can see how low my bottle is. I definitely should have gotten a big bottle, but I got the last small bottle that they had at Sephora at the time. I will be replenishing ASAPly, know that. So for this mixture, one day I had on Aventus for Her and I just wanted to sweeten it up a little bit, but I didn't want something too sweet. I didn't want like Love Don't Be Shy or something like that. So I reached for this one and I shocked myself. I impress myself every time. I'm like, gosh, Zoe, the things you can come up with, it's crazy, I tell ya. So I put the Aventus for Her on first because obviously between the two of these, no shade to designer fragrances, but typically aside from the Baccarat combination, I'm always gonna go niche first because usually that is the heavier, stronger fragrance. It's just that Baccarat and YSL combo that I do the YSL first and then the Baccarat on top. So I gave that a little second to dry. We've got that here at the kind of like in the center of my arm, just to give it enough space from the first scent combo that we did. So now we're gonna go over top of that with the Ruby Orchid. And I showed these scent layering combos to my sister-in-law. This was her absolute favorite until I showed her one more that I haven't gotten to yet. And then she said that one knocked this one out the water. But she thought this was the best thing since sliced bread. So I didn't think it was no topping that, you feel me? But this one is so freaking good. It's just a really nice, well-balanced scent mixture because like I said, this one is fresh and clean, and then you add a little bit of sweetness to it, and it just gives you like the perfect springy, summery, girly, feminine, but still bossy type of vibe. It's giving it girl, it's giving main character. Oh, I love it. The sweetness of the Ruby Orchid really just complement the Aventus for her so well. Like, I'm freaking mind blown. Oh God, I love that one. Let's see. I haven't even gotten through all the combos and oh, that's tough. That's only 2 different scent combinations and I can't even choose. What am I gonna do when I get to 6? And I gotta choose a favorite. What are you talking to? Do I make you choose between your kids? Huh? Choose a favorite. Okay, so the next one I'm really excited about. I'm excited about all of these, of course. Y'all know I just can't even contain myself when it comes to fragrances. But this one I'm really excited about because I did recently do a video on this and it is currently like my favorite thing in my whole collection. That is the Vanilla Barca Attar by Amouage. The most freaking amazing vanilla I've ever smelled in my life. Like, I can't make this up. This little tiny bottle is $540. It sounds completely insane, but it's worth every penny, and I will continue to buy this over and over for the rest of my freaking life. So this one we're gonna do on the top of the hand. Now, usually I would like at least dab or rub my 2 hands together. It's not a fragrance, so you don't have to worry about like it breaking down and everything like that. It's a pure 100% fragrance oil. You can see it's kind of just sitting there on the surface. But the reason I was really excited about this one is because, like I said, it's my favorite, and I was on the hunt to find like what fragrance can I put on top of this to really accentuate this beautiful vanilla. Like, I tried a bunch of my different vanilla scents, some that I thought would be like an easy match that just were like, I need more. It's not giving what it needs to give. Like, I put this on every single day. So whatever I'm wearing, I always like add it on top of this. But this one combination I came across was just like, oh, I don't need to put this with anything else ever again, because this is it. Okay. Can you believe it? The Valentino Donna Born in Roma. I mean, it's not a surprise because this is absolutely one of my favorite designer fragrances. Actually, I think every fragrance combo in this list includes one of my favorite designer fragrances. I love Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid. Of course, I love YSL Libre. I adore Donna Born in Roma. It's just such an it girl freaking fragrance. I always say that it reminds me of Christina Milian and like Love Don't Cost a Thing. It just gives that vibe. It's just pretty girl, spoiled girl. It's giving sugar baby. It's just giving, yeah, it's like all pink everything. The world revolves around me. It's just always giving me that vibe. I freaking love this one. This is literally like my 6th bottle. Like, I don't even know what number bottle I'm on of this, but I am obsessed. Okay, so this to me is like the best thing to put on top of this Vanilla Barca. It's got bourbon vanilla in the Valentino, but it's still very sweet. The vanilla is not like super overpowering in this fragrance. You still get to experience the fruitiness and all of the other components of this fragrance, and I think that that's what this really needed. I think that if you take the Vanilla Barca and you put another vanilla fragrance on top of it, it's just like vanilla overload, you know, rightfully so. So this one, it has vanilla, but it's not just vanilla, you know what I'm saying? And together, they're amazing. Okay. Oh my gosh. I just love it. I'm obsessed. This is like a sweet baked good on your skin. I just can't. I smell edible, and I still smell very feminine, and I smell girly and bougie and just everything that a girl would want to smell like. vanilla Baccarat with this on top, don't say I ain't put y'all on. I'm telling you right now, yeah, cause it's laying like that. All right, so next is gonna be that scent combination that I said my sister-in-law smelled, and it completely knocked the Aventus and the Ruby Orchid out of the water. And that is none other than Orchid Vanille by Van Cleef, layered with Cassili by Parfums de Marly. Let me tell you guys how I stumbled across this little gem right here, okay? So I was wearing Orchid Vanille, that was my scent of the day. And I bought Cassili for my best friend for Christmas. Shout out to Binky, hey girl. But I was having an unsure day, and I was like, God, I really should have got her Meliora. I think that's more her speed. But I was like, let me just spray it on my skin and see if I'm really loving it as much as I thought I was. At this point, the gift was already purchased, but you know, I just had to make the show for show. So I put this fragrance on just to like wear it throughout the day and kind of see how I was feeling about it. And I was like, wait a minute, what's happening right now? This smells different, but it's because I had already had this on. So together they were doing something crazy. They was doing something crazy. Yeah. Oh, you know I gotta put it on, right? You know that I'm black, right? That TikTok is so funny. So with this one, I like to go in with the Orchid Vanille first, and that's just because that's the way I was originally introduced to the fragrance. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay? I had the Orchid Vanille on already as my scent of the day, and then I went in with Cassili on top of it, so I just never changed it. Now, Orchid Vanille literally smells like a freaking cupcake. Like, it's just a very sweet vanilla, but it is a really, really gorgeous vanilla at the same time. It's not like a pink sugar childish type of sweet, not really like, you know, like fruity kid stuff. It's more of like a sophisticated vanilla. You could definitely wear this like to the office, you could wear it to church, and it's not gonna be like clawing sweet. I'm sorry, I love Don't Be Shy, but that is always what I compare when I talk about things that are like sweet like that. That's sweet, okay? This is bearable. Okay, it's a really, really gorgeous vanilla. I absolutely love Orchid Vanille. I think Van Cleef in general is like very slept on. So many people don't even know that they make fragrances because they're so well known as a jewelry line. So yes, together these just smell like a really, really gorgeous peach cobbler dessert with like perfectly golden crust around it. Now this fragrance, if you read the notes on it, they swear up and down it's not no peach in it, but that's a lie. I don't know. I have never seen peach actually listed as a note. I know that it has like frangipane or frangipani, however you say that, red currant, vanilla, Bulgarian rose, mimosa, which is one of my favorite type of florals to put in a fragrance. But it doesn't actually like list peach, but there's no way you can smell this and not pick up on the peach. It's a peachy fragrance. It looks peachy. It looks like a peach, like it's peach. If it walk like a duck and talk like a duck, it's Aflac. With that being said, if you take like a vanilla fragrance and then you mix it with something that literally just smells like a peachy summer in a bottle, and you combine those together, it just is like a peachy baked good sweet vanilla. Like, God, it's stunning. And like I said, this was enough to make my sister-in-law regret saying that the Aventus and Ruby Orchid was the best combo, which, don't be fooled, it is still amazing, okay? If it wasn't amazing, it wouldn't be mentioned in this video because I have a ton of scent layering combinations that did not make it to this video. So these are like my best of the best, cream of the crop, baby. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. It actually is so nostalgic to me because I remember wearing this like every day around Christmas time when I first discovered that combo. I was like, I just could not stop mixing them together, honestly. And last but not least, one of my most recent discoveries, which consists of two fragrances that I've had forever and just never even thought about mixing. Chanel Chance, you can see how low I am on it. This is my girl right here. Been wearing her since high school. Another one of my absolute favorite designer fragrances that I will continue to repurchase over and over and over and over. And this one is Mandarino di Amalfi by Tom Ford. Love this fragrance. If you haven't smelled it, but you are familiar with Louis Vuitton fragrances, I promise you this smells almost identical to Afternoon Swim. I absolutely love this little aquatic collection that Tom Ford has. It's probably my favorite thing out of the Tom Ford line. Mandarino di Amalfi, Neroli Portofino, those are all just very, very gorgeous scents, perfect for the summer and spring. Very, very aquatic. This one here is super citrusy. Oh, like when you look at the name, Mandarino di Amalfi. Mandarin, that's your orange. Amalfi, the Italian coast. Whenever I see Amalfi in a name, it almost always smells like a very, very luxurious vacation. I love Rose di Amalfi by Tom Ford, which is one of their newer scents. Stunning. I love Jardin di Amalfi by Creed. It literally smells like sea salt and sun-kissed skin. Like whenever Amalfi is associated with something, it's a vacation. So these two layered together is a very, very gorgeous, fruity, floral, citrusy fragrance that smells like summer, okay? Like this is a Leo behind scent, okay? Because it just smells like August. So for this one, we're gonna go in, let's do the wrist here. We're gonna do the Mandarino di Amalfi first. Give that a little second to dry. And then we will go on top with the Chanel Chance Tendre or Otendre, however the heck you say it. Y'all know I am not French, okay? I don't claim to be. You smell it already. Why am I like this? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. It smells so freaking good. Wow. Wow. This is why it's so hard for me to pick favorites. I hate when people ask me what is my favorite fragrance. I'm like, look at this.
Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
People have 4 children and can't pick a favorite. They really can, but they ain't gonna say it out loud. I have too many fragrances to count, and this is just what's on display. My dresser over there, more fragrances, okay? So it's just like, I have to smell these and then tell you which one's my favorite. They're all my favorites. They're all my babies. Got us a real Sophie's Choice here. Baccarat Rouge 540 and the Libre. Then we have the Aventus and the Ruby Orchid, the Vanilla Barca and the Valentino, Castilian Orchid Vanille, Mandarino di Amalfi, and Chance Tendre. Okay, so this is the thing that makes it so hard because it's like they're all totally different vibes and different occasions. Like I said, if I'm going vacation, summertime, anything like that, it's definitely gonna be this Mandarino and Chanel combination for sure. Oh man, that's tough between the Orchid Vanille and the Cassili and the Vanilla Barca and the Valentino. Y'all gonna have to give me a minute to figure this out. Okay. And the number 5 spot. It breaks my heart to even put anything in last place because I promise y'all, like I love each and every one of these combinations. This is very difficult for me. Okay. Different day. Every day that you ask me, a different fragrance is gonna be my favorite. And the same is to be said about combinations. So at this moment, and what I'm smelling on my skin right now, Orchid Vanille and Cassili would be in 5th place. In 4th place would be the Mandarino di Amalfi and the Chanel Chance. In 3rd place is the Aventus for Her and the Ruby Orchid Flowerbomb. In 2nd place is the Vanilla Barca and the Valentino. And you guessed it, I'm sorry, it's just a dope freaking combination. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorites. I gotta give it to the Baccarat and the YSL. They just do it for me every time. God, that's sexy. But it's like every one of them, as I'm smelling it, whatever I'm smelling at that moment is my favorite. Because they're just so good. Like, oh, that Mandarino and that Chanel. All right, you guys, so those are my current favorite scent layering combinations out of the scent cocktails that I have come up with. I would love to hear what type of fragrances you guys like to layer together. Feel free to leave a comment down below with your favorite scent layering combo, or if there are any in this video that you like, that you're interested in trying, or have tried out yourself. But as always, thank you guys so much for tuning into my video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this information was helpful. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you in my next video.